Lighting. Lighting can be a tricky subject. Lighting is one of the tool that cinematographers have to paint with. Light is one of the reasons that many of the classic painters during the Renaissance became so well known, is because they were so adept at using light. Now, what for us as videographers, a lot of times, we think about light, like what do we get? Do we need to get this whole setup? And I want to be really clear that you don't. In fact, even when I first started shooting short films, and even on a feature film, which happened to be a series of shorts that I directed, we structured things so we would need as few lights as possible. And when possible, when I'm shooting, I try and never rely on lights because I don't want to have to carry them around, and I know that I can get great results without them. So how do you do that? Well, you can do that because you already have access to probably the absolute best light that exists. You can probably guess. It's the sun. The sun is amazing. In fact, when in Hollywood, when they're shooting, one of the most expensive lights that is designed to look exactly like the sun. And they do that so that they can have the consistency of this giant white light, and then they'll shoot at night and shoot it through a window, and you'll think it's sunny. So guess what? We don't have to do that. We can just use the regular sun. And the sun is great for that. So for instance, me, right here, right now shooting, the lighting in here is great. And I'm not using a single light. Like not one. Everything is naturally lit coming through this window right here. That's awesome. Now, one of the things that is great when you're shooting in lighting is shooting through a window like I'm doing. Windows are great. What's even better is if you can use some sort of diffusion. So, we get it. The sun is amazing. It's the best light that exists. And all we have to do is go out, and as long as it's sunny, we're fine, right? Well, not quite. There are some things that we want to think about when it comes to the sun. For instance, if you notice here, like I said, there's no other lights, just the sun that's providing the light. But is it direct sunlight? Sure isn't. Like the sun is coming in reflected through this window, which is frosted. So take a look. I have these frosted windows here that is providing like a much softer light, which is why this looks so great. Now, even if these weren't frosted, it would still be excellent light. You don't need to have them frosted. But the reason that the frosting helps is because it makes the light soft. Like it kind of wraps around objects a little bit nicer because it's bouncing off different things in the room. Well, why is that important? Why do we love soft light so much? Well, if you've shot in direct sunlight, then you know the sun is a great light and it is really, really strong. So what happens when you have the sun shining directly on your face, for instance? Besides squinting like crazy, you'll get all these shadows from your nose and your hair and your eyebrows and who knows what else. Or, maybe you walk past a branch of a tree, or you walk under an overhang and you suddenly go in the shadow. The difference is so great that cameras can't pick up on both. Our eye does fine because our eyes are incredible. But a camera like this, as amazing as they are, the gap is just too wide. So you wind up having the colors either it's adjusted for the direct sunlight and it's really, really it's bright and fine, and then you go in the dark and everything turns black, or it's adjusted for the shade and then you go into the sun and everything turns white and gets blown out. You just can't have both. So I always recommend shooting in the shade or behind a window like this so you can take advantage of the light bouncing off other things. You can even use, you'll see like photographers, a really inexpensive form of light is a bounce board. It can literally just be a big white thing, whatever that is that bounces the light back, or some of them will have something reflective. But use the sun as much as you can to your advantage. It's great. It's totally not only is it acceptable, it's preferable, because we're trying to do like quick, easy videos and turn them out quickly. So if you can shoot by a window like I do, absolutely do that. That will help you in your videos a ton.